WIUR Sports are back again on Wednesday night as women's soccer heads to Connecticut to play Sacred Heart in a crucial MAC showdown. Full match coverage begins at 6 p.m. on WIUR Sports or Mixler. Iona MSC Department is hosting a women's sports panel on Wednesday, October the 22nd from 12:30 to 1:50 in Henry Lecture Hall, located in the La Penta School of Business. The panel will feature 5 talented individuals in the field of sports media, coming from brands such as CBS, Lookalike Productions, and the USTA. Come see and learn how women are shaping the sports media field and connect with professionals in the field on October the 22nd from 12:30 to 1:50 in Henry Lecture Hall.
Mhm.
Hello, this is Morty, and I'm here with my co-host Ant, and this is Seriously Black, the Harry Potter cult, the Harry Potter podcast for the culture. Let's run that back again. Hello, this is Morty, and I'm here with my co-host Ant, and this is Seriously Black, the Harry Potter podcast for the culture. What's up, brother?
What's going on?
Big 4, episode 4. Excited to get this started.
Yep.
All right.
I got some tricks for you today.
So what?
I got some tricks for you today.
Oh, you do? All right.
Mhm.
I got a couple good ones too. I'm excited for this one to get started. So I'm doing my research. This will be a good one for sure. So let's start with the weekly prophet. Okay. So we've learned that actor Jake Curran has been cast as Ronan the Centaur in the first season of Harry Potter, which adapts the Philosopher's Stone book. Sorcerer's Stone.
Sorcerer's Stone was like I think Philosopher's Stone was the English version, and Sorcerer's Stone was, Sorcerer's Stone was the English version, and Philosopher's Stone was like Great Britain.
So what are we calling it?
It's the Sorcerer's Stone to me. I don't care what anybody else call it.
Mama called him Clay. So I'm gonna call him Clay.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. In the first book, Ronan, along with another centaur, Bane, meet with Hagrid, and obviously you remember the scene with the unicorns and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on this, Jack Curran? I don't know if you know who that is as an actor. How do you feel about the casting so far? What do you think?
My words to HBO is, all right, let's get to it.
Yeah.
At this point, and this is part, again, we talked about this with the commercialism, it's part of the promo, and this actor, that actor, screenshots, and let's get to it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this ain't nothing new. We've seen it done within the last 20 years. The people who did the original depiction in the movie theaters, they're still alive and kicking, most of them.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need all the hoopla. Just give me good product. That's it. This is not rocket science, but like we talked about before, with all of the streaming wars and all the different elements of making money using these source material shows, you get caught up in the hoopla. Every actor who's cast and everything's announced and all that, and it's part of the buildup for the show. And I understand that. I'm not against it. I'm saying for me, I'm not so much following all of the extracurriculars until I see a quality product. You're not going to get my extracurricular, following everything about the show until I know the product is real.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Some more news. During a sit down with BBC, Matthew Lewis, who played Neville Longbottom, spoke candidly, and lets the people know his exact words: "I am not Neville."
Okay.
From the interview, the reason I became an actor is to play all types of different roles. I never wanted to be tied down to a role. The beauty in acting is I can go on and play all different things. I used to have to explain to people that I was not Neville to get a chance to play something else. So, thoughts on that? Do you think that sometimes you get these young, successful child actors? Would you even consider him really in that realm of like maybe a Carlton from The Fresh Prince or something like that, where it's like you can't overcome your childhood character? Do you think that he's being bound or not given a fair shake, or what do you think about that?
Not given a fair shake is not a good way to put it. I understand what he's saying, but at the same time, What's his name? Matthew Lewis, right?
Yeah.
Matthew, baby.
Go get that
You-
coin.
Do you know how many people would love to be
Neville.
just not even Neville, anybody? You know what I'm saying? The anybody. I would love to stand in the corner at the leaky cauldron and just stir my little drink. And this brother talking about he don't want to be typecast. It's never long bottom for brother.
That's a premier character.
You got to go with where it go.
Mm-hmm.
You got to, and you know what it remind me of. It's like, and it's not to throw shade on my good brother Kyrie Irving, but when Kyrie was playing for the Cavs, and he talking about, I got to get out of the shadow of LeBron. It's like, huh? Brother, you've been in final after final after final, hitting big shot after big shot after big. He went up to Boston, boy, and he
got
broomed,
Steve kicked in.
they got broomed out of the. Get up out of here, player. He done been all around the league. Ain't no LeBron. It don't look the same. Now we all Kyrie's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But when you young and you got a little feeling about what the world is and what it's going to be for you in particular, sometimes you miss that little. Hey, you got really fortunate very early, and it doesn't happen very often. And you should take advantage of that. He should be Neville Longbottom everywhere he go, as much as he can be. I mean, I know the royalties from the movie probably hitting, and he not hurting.
No,
but I'm just saying that the idea that you could turn your nose up at any kind of success when it's as hard as success is to get in this world. I don't know. I can't. It's not me. I don't know. I can't speak for anybody else, but I know that as hard as we have to work to get successful at anything, to have success early, and then to seemingly suggest that that's not all you are. Which I'm sure he could do other things, but you gotta
do what you do.
Get to the money.
Yeah. So I was on Reddit, and I was reading this story and stuff like that, and they were chatting about black characters that were similar to Neville Longbottom from the Harry Potter series. Yes, so this goes.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
This goes to the far left. So I want to read this properly. Someone who's brave, loyal, and maybe a bit underestimated or awkward at first, but grows into a strong hero. There were two people. One was African American, one was Caucasian. The first one was Luke Cage from Marvel Comics. I don't know if you watch Luke Cage.
I don't watch Luke Cage. I'm vaguely familiar.
Okay. So, like Neville, it said Luke starts off as an underdog with a lot of heart, face struggles, but prove their courage at the end. And Luke also is very loyal to his friends and stands up for what's right, just like Neville. Okay, so I'm somebody that's watched the whole series. I think that's very interesting. I think there's a bit of reach. I think that's
probably. It sounds like a reach. And
a bit of a reach to compare him to the Marvel character. I don't necessarily see the physical characteristics and connections. Some soft, light ones maybe, but I don't necessarily see that. The other one was, and I don't know if you remember this character from Walking Dead, Abraham.
The Walking Dead was a quit watch for me, to be very honest.
You're killing me.
I'm not big into zombies, and that's a topic for another podcast. But I'm not big into zombies. It was actually a show that I prepared to watch though.
Yeah,
and it I don't know if you remember, but The Walking Dead started around the same time as Falling Skies, and I ended up watching and finishing Falling Skies as it related to The Walking Dead. Now, The Walking Dead became way more popular than Falling Skies, but
any regrets?
No, actually, I really enjoyed Falling Skies.
Never watched it.
You should watch it. It's actually a very good examination of of civics in a post-apocalyptic dystopia.
Hmm. How many seasons was it?
I think they got off 5 or 6.
Okay.
They got off I think 5.
Okay. All
But
right.
I mean, as shows go, usually when you get to a certain point, the commercialism takes
Yeah.
over. And it happens in every show.
Mhm.
But that point was pushed back a little bit in Falling Skies. So the story I really the character development, the character arc, and the story overall story, it was a good ride. It's not like a all time epic, but it was a good ride.
Okay. Okay.
We'll save that for Seriously Black,
Yeah.
the show about shows,
Yeah.
and we'll get to that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I want to get into fact or cap, a segment of fan fiction ideas. Do you think are canon or a bit off base? All right. So we got some pretty good ones this week. All right. So let's start with an interesting one. All right. So I'm gonna read this off. You tell me what you think.
All right.
Lupin became a professor at Hogwarts in Harry's third year. Our intro to him was odd, and the description of his items were unique. And we know that JK definitely leaves a lot of breadcrumbs.
Mhm.
Okay. Professor R.J. Lupin, Hermione whispered when asked who it was. When Harry asked, "How do you know?" she said, "It's on the case." You
Mhm.
remember this part, of course. From the book, it was a small battered case held together by a neat knotted string. The name Professor R.G. Lupin was stamped across the corner in peeling letters. Despite only becoming a professor that year, he had his name peeling on the case.
Mhm.
Here's a theory. James Potter gifted Lupin the case before he died. He was close to Lupin and probably supported him financially for some time. It's possible the close friends had conversations about dream jobs, as many do, and James bought him the case and stamped it to show his belief that the dream that Lupin had will one day become true to become a professor. Fact or cap?
I mean, we might have to look into the name of this segment because fact is very. It's hard to like establish fact. It's more like is it believable?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is believable on many levels. I'll say that you know Lupin's he's a werewolf. His
Yeah.
condition is really probably the binding factor of the Marauders.
Mm-hmm.
Like the you learn through the story that Lupin is a werewolf and Dumbledore allows him to come to Hogwarts when probably no other headmaster in the history of Hogwarts would have allowed Lupin to attend Hogwarts as a regular student. And he they plant the Whomping Willow to
Mm-hmm.
protect the passageway to the Shrieking Shack.
Mm-hmm.
All of this is done in an effort to allow Lupin to transform into a werewolf on, well,
All grounds.
in a safe area on grounds, and then just resume his normal education at Hogwarts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that administrative move by Dumbledore is also matched by the friendship move of Peter Pettigrew, Sirius Black, and James Potter, because they become animagus to accompany Lupin while he's in his transformed state, where he wouldn't be as much of a danger to them. Um, and I say all that to say there is ample evidence that Lupin's friends was down for him.
Mm-hmm.
So would it surprise me in any way that James would do something um kind of uh proactive and uh do something that was like a nice gesture for his friend who's probably struggling? I mean, we know Lupin has all types of other struggles throughout the story in terms of his condition and how he deals with that condition as it relates to the people who are around him and who care about him. So I definitely think that this theory has some legs. Calling it fact is the only thing I have a question issue with, because like, well, how do you a fact can be verified? How do you verify? But I do think that it's something that's very in universe and in character for James to have gifted his friend something that he thought something that James would have thought that Lupin would have liked and would have encouraged him to do.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. 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 All right. Fact the cap. The next one. Mad Eye Moody in the Order of the Phoenix shows Harry a photo of the original order in the headquarters of the order.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So on face value, it seems as if he shows Harry the photo because he thought he would seem interested and even perceive it as a treat to his parents. At this point in the book, Harry was very eager to join the order for many different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's a theory. In reality, Moody showed it to Harry for him to understand that war and that the casualties of war are very real. To reinforce that point, he went into discussions of all the members that died in their relation to their issues with Voldemort from the book. This is after, obviously, he's talking to Harry. He tells him about all the people that had died. He points to his parents. He points to the Longbottoms who was tortured, and all of them.
I remember that.
Mhm.
This is
Mhm.
Moody putting that real work on Harry. Like, hey, listen, dog, this
Yeah.
we in these streets for real.
Yeah. From the book, he did not know why it had been such a shock. He had seen pictures of his parents before, and he had been seen Wormtail before. But to have them sprung on him like that, no one would like that, he thought angrily. And to see them surrounded by all those happy faces, Benji Fenwick found blown to bits, and the Longbottoms tortured, all in that photo, smiling happily, not knowing what the future held. Moody found it interesting, but Harry found it disturbing. What would you say? Fact.
If Moody showed that to Harry to give him the real, like, we really in this.
Yeah.
I think that both can be true. Like, he showed it to Harry because, like, in the story, he shows it to Harry to as a, hey, Harry, look, I know that you don't know all of what's going on here, but this has been a long fight. Your parents are a part of it. You're a part of it. Let me show you some of the other people that you are not going to have the chance to meet. And I think that Moody's, and we know that Moody as a character is a realist. He's very, he doesn't really sugarcoat much. He kind of just, he's a straight shooter. So I think that where some of the other adults around Harry, and this is a big theme during the Order of the Phoenix, would try to protect Harry or shield Harry from the reality of what he's a part of. I think Moody kind of knows like, he knows that Harry's in this, and ain't nothing really Harry can do about it. So he needs to be prepared and understand, and he needs to download all that information. And this is just a part of that cocktail of information that Harry needs to get. I also think that this goes to show, which I have a fan theory of my own that, usually you ask me, but this time I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna let you break it down.
Okay.
But I also think that this could have been a Dumbledore behind the scenes play, because one of the things that Dumbledore actually explains this to Harry. One of the things that is Harry's greatest weapon, so to speak, is his ability to love, in spite of all the negative things that he's experienced and been through. So I think Moody showing Harry this goes to reinforce that Harry might feel disturbed. It said disturbed, right?
Yes.
Or Harry might
Disturbing.
feel disturbed, but in reality, what he's feeling is that love through a picture where he's seeing his parents, he's seeing his parents' friends, and he's understanding what this war has taken from him and what it took from them. And he doesn't. It doesn't say, and Harry was angered. It says he was disturbed because it's a disturbing idea to see those lost to warfare. But it also the underlying element of it is that Harry feels a particular way about it, but he's not moved to rage. And the story is there are times in the story where Harry does get moved to rage, and there are very key points about how he gets to rage. But in each of those moments, he gets to rage through love. So he uses a unforgivable curse against Bellatrix in the Order of the Phoenix. He does that only directly after he sees Sirius get killed, right? In Deathly Hallows, he uses a unforgivable curse on one of the Death Eaters, one of the Carrows.
Yeah.
And it's because he spits at McGonagall. And it's almost like Harry snaps in that moment, but it's for his love for McGonagall, right? So this is a recurring theme in part of the story that J.K. Rowling's trying to tell about Harry and what makes him particularly special and particularly gifted only as a counter to Lord Voldemort, in that his immense ability to love, in spite of all the reasons he has not to love or to be cold or to turn his back on the world, so to speak. And this is just another kind of key point in that greater story that, hey, be faced with the reality of what this is and still come out of it on the other side with the ability to love.
Question for you, getting to your theory. This is a tough one. We've both obviously watched The Wire. Who is Moody?
Who is Moody?
If we were to put Mad Eye Moody in The Wire, what character do you think most reminds you of Mad Eye Moody?
That's easy. Very easy.
Who?
Bunk. Moody is Bunk. He's just gonna keep it. He gonna shoot it straight like an arrow. He gonna let you know what's going on.
Very smart, very sharp.
Smart, sharp. He might come to you in politics. He don't play no games. You ain't see Bunk shoot that mouse?
Let's get right to it.
Bunk wasn't playing. Bunk don't play.
Bunk was with it.
Moody is Bunk. That's who that is. Moody gonna keep it a bean, all the way clean, and he gonna let you know what it is. Okay. And if you don't like it, he don't care. Moody don't care.
Yeah. Bunk didn't either.
Exactly. That Moody is Bunk for sure.
I'll never forget that scene with him and Omar when they were sitting there talking.
Yeah.
Omar's a cold-blooded killer. He was talking to him like he was a little homie.
He was, but he was. The game is the game. Yo, Bunk knew the game. He was playing on one team, but Bunk understood the game.
Yeah.
That Moody understands the game. Hey, listen, when they pull up in the seventh book to move Harry to the safe house, Moody going through the detail. Hey, listen, if one of us get killed, Harry, you keep flying south.
Yeah.
The rear guard gonna pick you up.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, Moody, come on, bro. Ain't nobody getting killed. Lo and behold, they pulled up, and them Dementors is out there. Where your wand at?
Somebody got popped.
Are you ready for my theory?
Yeah, come on. Let's see it.
Factor cap for you.
All right.
So, and I'm gonna tell you where this dawned on me very recently, like within the last week, because we're doing this show. I'm doing the rereads. I'm looking at different angles, and every time you hear you get a story, you intake a story, you digest it a little bit differently. So one of the things about this particular chapter that just jumped out to me when I was doing the reread was, well, here's the theory, and you can say factor cap. Dumbledore purposefully plants the Weasleys at King's Cross Station within proximity of Harry to make sure that he is embraced by those of the right side, let's just say. Now let me give you the supporting evidence. Harry, he gets picked up by Hagrid from the Dursleys. Hagrid takes him to Diagon Alley. And we'll go through all of this. Hagrid takes him to Diagon Alley. He buys all his stuff. And then Hagrid just, all right, Harry, you got your stuff. You got your owl. Make sure you at King's Cross. Catch that train by 11. Oh, by the way, it's platform 9 3/4. Like, huh? Even Harry, the first time that he is even talking about going to the school, because he's so blown away by the idea, I'm getting away from the Dursleys, and he should be. I'm getting away from the Dursleys. I ain't gonna have to come back and off these folks. I'm going on about my business. I'm a wizard. I'm gonna do my thing. He doesn't even think about the logistics of, hey, where is Hogwarts even at? You know what I'm saying? And he recalls this in the chapter because his uncle makes a funny joke and he's like, "Where's this school at? It's this wizarding school, and you catching a train." And for Harry, because once that the hype wears off of him being different and being away from the Dursleys, he's starting to realize the logistics of, oh wait, I don't know how I'm getting to school. So he asks his uncle for a ride. His uncle takes him to King's Cross Station, and he has a ticket that says platform 9 3/4. Now, am I supposed to believe, this is more into the theory, am I supposed to believe that Dumbledore and the powers at Hogwarts went through all of that trouble to get umpteen million letters to Harry, send Hagrid out to collect them, to bring him to Diagon Alley, and then didn't give him a way or instructions to get on platform 9 3/4? Oh, right there. Second part of this supporting evidence.
Okay.
In the story, Mrs. Weasley comes in. Well, so let me just set the scene. Harry's standing in King's Cross Station between platforms 9 and 10. He has no idea where to go. No one told him where to go. He knows nothing about anything. And they know this. The powers that be know that Harry knows nothing. Harry, someone with a cart and a suitcase like his catches his attention, and he overhears Miss Weasley say, "Now, what platform is it? Platform 9 3/4." That's awfully convenient. It's a little too convenient to be standing in a random place in a random train station and need to get to a magical place, and just so happen to overhear someone say, "Oh, what platform is it? Platform 9 3/4." Mind you, Molly Weasley, not only did her and Arthur both go to Hogwarts, but they done sent several of their children to Hogwarts in this same manner. Why on earth would Molly Weasley be saying out loud amongst muggles, "Oh, what platform is it? Platform 9 3/4."
Yeah.
The theory is that if Dumbledore's not standing right outside of King's Cross, he put the Weasleys up on game like, "Hey, listen, I didn't tell Harry anything about where he's going. He's gonna be standing there looking stupid. I'm gonna need you to go in there and collect him and make sure y'all put him in the tuck so that he's not scooped up by any other elements whilst he's at school." See, Dumbledore's been playing this game since day one. Since day one on Privet Drive, Dumbledore's been playing this game.
Yeah.
Chess, not checkers. Denzel, this is chess, not checkers.
Yeah.
Been playing it all day. I've been planning it all week. Dumbledore been planning this for books, chapters. It's too convenient. And I'm saying that only Dumbledore would have the foresight to put that play in motion exactly like that. Fact or cap?
Jay-Z said it best. This is facts only. there is no way that he is going to allow the chosen one to get snatched up before he even gets that. That would be crazy. It is very believable. It is highly likely that one Harry would definitely not. There's no way he gives him all that stuff and Hagrid just walks away. They're gonna make sure that this is the boy who lived. They're not gonna let the boy who lived die.
This is what I'm saying. Not even
They're
not
running around looking
saying,
for 9 and 3. Somebody saving him.
The idea.
I think the question is, did he set up Ron being his friend? But
that's the deeper implication, yes.
But I 100% believe that it was very much set up one way or another. Harry was getting on this train. Now, if he figured it out on his own, cool.
He's definitely getting on the train, but I'm saying that Dumbledore. Remember, Dumbledore has this greater scheme that he's putting to work, right?
Mhm.
And Dumbledore understands the stakes and what's really at in play with Harry, and what ultimately Harry is going to be, what he in the magical world are going to be asking Harry to do. So it's my belief that Dumbledore, from page 1, word 1, is curating the influences that Harry is exposed to in a very, very particular way to get a very, very particular outcome.
Mm-hmm.
That started with putting him with the Dursleys, even though there's other components of why he was put with the Dursleys, but putting him with the Dursleys, making sure that he was befriended by the Weasleys. The Weasleys are easily considered the worst of the worst by the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
They are the
cookie cutter clean.
Well, they're pure. The Weasleys are pure blood, but they're not down with none of that. They not blood banging in any kind of way. They don't believe in none of the pure blood,
the
family. They don't believe in none of that. They in fact rebel against it, which is why we love the Weasleys.
Yeah,
because they like, we ain't going for none of that. We down with Dumbledore. That's what you know about the Weasleys, and they don't do none of that pure blood BS. So that all that being said, Dumbledore makes sure that while Harry's in a little bit of conflict, while he's trying to get on this train, the people who save him are a very particular kind of person. And I'm saying that goes to the influence of the long play about what he needs from Harry. And so that's why, again, when I was, this never occurred to me before. That's what's crazy. That's why I love doing reread.
Yeah.
This never occurred to me before. But when I'm paying attention to what these different elements of the story, and I see on the page a woman says, now we know who the woman is, because you see, the first time you read it, you don't know who the woman is.
Yeah.
But the second time you read it, it's like, you know who the woman
is. Yeah. Yeah.
And she says, wait, what? She said, what platform is it?
Yeah.
Platform 9 3/4? Nah, Molly.
No.
No, Molly.
Yeah.
I peep, Molly, I peep game.
Yeah.
I peep game.
Yeah. Facts only. All right. Chapter 4, titled The Keeper of the Keys. So before we get into it, we're going to talk really briefly about this is our real heavy first introduction to Hagrid. Passionate, emotional person. Introduces Harry to the Wizarding world, treats him like a father figure, known as a Hogwarts gamekeeper. Eventually starts to be a professor there. And of course, deeply loyal to Albus Dumbledore.
It comes up in this chapter.
It lets him ring out quick.
Hagrid let it be known.
The Sully out.
Hagrid let it be known. Book 1. Play with me if you want to.
Yep. Your thoughts on Hagrid?
Hagrid is the OG, the original giant.
Yeah.
He is the lovable, muscle.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody loves Hagrid. And Hagrid goes through his turmoil throughout the series. But at the end of the day, you know where Hagrid stands. And that's right beside Dumbledore and right in between Harry and anybody who's going to try and harm. That's Hagrid. Hagrid is a protector.
Yeah.
And we love Hagrid because he is the literary embodiment of what we all want in a male big brother protector kind of thing, where you look at Hagrid, and in this chapter, Hagrid, he basically breaks down. He does break down the door. That's the boom at the end of the previous chapter. He breaks down the door, comes in, and puts the door back on its hinges, which is so Hagrid.
Yeah.
Because he's not. He could be menacing, but he's not. He's going to use his I guess strength and muscle to protect. And Vernon finds out quickly, like I said in our previous episodes, a pillar of who Hagrid is I'm Dumbledore's man. This comes up for Harry later on in the series, where Rufus Scrimgeour asks Harry, or he says to Harry, I guess you're Dumbledore's man through and through. And when Harry tells Dumbledore this, it actually makes Dumbledore cry. Right? The themes of the people who stand with Dumbledore and their loyalty are it's so important to the story, because Dumbledore is the one with the plan. And the people who show him loyalty and have loyalty for him are all really saying that we're with Dumbledore, win, lose, or draw. And Hagrid is one of those people. He lets because Vernon calls Albus Dumbledore without really knowing who Dumbledore is, a crackpot old fool. Hagrid pulls he has his wand like tucked in his umbrella. Hagrid pulls out on Vernon.
Pulled out the hammer.
Hagrid pulls out on Vernon and lets him know, never, and she writes it this way, never insult Albus Dumbledore in front of me. That's all they need to be said. Yeah. I don't think Vernon says anything else in the chapter.
He said it with his chest too.
But that's the measure of how Hagrid is moving. We talking about words. It was on site.
Yeah.
It was on site.
Yeah, definitely.
So that Hagrid is a crucial, one of the most beloved characters of the series. He's a crucial character of the series because he also represents how Dumbledore is able to win people over. Hagrid is so loyal to Dumbledore because Dumbledore understood that Hagrid was not the culprit during his time at school. And he was the only one to see him and know that he wasn't the culprit. And all that Hagrid suffered through that, Dumbledore, the point is that Dumbledore went first.
Yeah.
And Dumbledore said, you know what, Hagrid, I got your back.
Yeah.
And from that point, Hagrid has had Dumbledore's back in every possible way ever since.
Yeah. 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 I find it really interesting. You had just talked about it. So Hagrid busts through the door, right? But knocks off the hinges, tries to put it back. Passage from the book. He bent down, picked up the door, and fitted it easily back into the frame. The noise of the storm outside dropped a little. He turned to look at them all and said, couldn't make us a cup of tea, could you? It's not been an easy journey. Now listen. All right. Now.
What do you do with that? His brother done broke down my door, came in and asked for some tea.
Listen, my folk from Columbia, South Carolina. You bust through my door, pick it up, put it back on the hinge and say, can you make me some tea? You're going to be on the back of a milk carton.
But I'm saying, but this is the thing about Hagrid is that he that's why it's such a Hagrid moment when he breaks down, because he's just breaking it. Boom, I'm doing my job. I'm breaking down the door. Dumbledore told me to go get Harry. I'm going to get Harry. But his disposition is so gentle.
Mhm.
It's like, I'm gonna put your door back. Y'all ain't let me in. So his disposition is so gentle that you can't help but be um overwhelmed and frightened, I guess, at the same time. The Dursleys are definitely shook.
Yeah.
And Harry is less so. Harry doesn't understand what's going on, but none of them really get the um like no one's trying to run out of the room or screaming like they're gonna be killed in a bloody murder.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm saying about Hagrid is like he can take it there, but that's not really who he is.
Yeah.
Don't play with Albus in front of him. Don't try and hurt nobody he cares about, and you're gonna be good with Hagrid, even
Mhm.
if he don't really like you. Like Hagrid goes back and forth with the Slytherins and Malfoy and all of that stuff, but he still does his job as it relates to them,
Mhm.
and he still makes sure that he's doing everything that's right by them. He's not trying to do wrong by nobody. You just don't cross Hagrid, and you're gonna be just fine. And he gives you that vibe, again by the very first time we meet him. He knocks down the door, picks it right back up, and asks for some tea.
We got a quick glimpse of magic, early on in the in that chapter, in which he turns away and he flickers. There's a flicker, and then obviously we see fire.
Mm-hmm.
So then, caption from the book: no one said a thing while the giant was working, but as he slid the first 6 fat, juicy, slightly burnt sausages from the poker, Dudley fidgeted a little.
Yeah.
Uncle Vernon said sharply, "Don't touch anything he gives you, Dudley." The giant chuckled darkly. You're a gangster for this. Your great pudding of a son don't need any fattening anymore. Dudley, Dursley, don't worry. Now, here we have an interesting thing in which he's clearly disrespecting the kid in front of his dad.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle this if you're Vernon? What does Vernon do?
Hagrid is loyal, sometimes to a fault. Now, are we meant to feel sorry for the Dursleys? No. That's why she gives us these 3 chapters before this. She gives us these 3 chapters beforehand to tell us about the the Dursleys' tyrannic reign over Harry, so that we don't feel too moved or too sorry for them in this moment, because, well, Hagrid knows that the Dursleys are not treating Harry well.
Yeah.
He knows this because they sent him to get him because he wasn't getting his letters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, throughout the rest of the story, Hagrid learns that Harry don't know nothing. Not they might be keeping his letter from him, but he knows what he is, and he knows that he's famous, and he knows that maybe if he doesn't know that he's famous, but he knows that his parents died in some other world.
Mm-hmm.
When Hagrid finds out that Harry doesn't know anything about who and what he is and what he means to the magical community and all of that, and that they purposefully kept all of this from him, because Petunia has a moment where she speaks where she speaks basically to Harry, saying, my sister being what she was, and she went and got herself killed.
Blown up.
Yeah, she says blown up. She went and got herself killed, and then we got stuck with you. Like, Petunia's like kind of giving it to Harry a little bit like it's his fault, which doesn't really make any sense. But the point is that the Dursleys are not hiding the fact that they've hidden this world from Harry.
Mm-hmm.
And that pisses Hagrid off.
Mm-hmm.
Because for Hagrid, it's like, remember, Hagrid knew Lily and James.
Mm-hmm.
Hagrid is very connected to. Hagrid was the one who picked them up from the ruins at Godric's Hollow.
His family.
Exactly. To Hagrid, you playing with my folk right now.
Yeah.
Like,
mm-hmm.
And the second Hagrid realizes that, the disrespect goes all the way up.
Yeah.
Hagrid's like, I want you to try me. I want you to
now
try
you're looking
me.
for a reason.
And in the chapter, Vernon has a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Hagrid takes it and bends it into a knot. Like, nah, we're gonna shoot the fair one if it's gonna go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout this part of the chapter, Hagrid is like he's almost kind of baiting Vernon into not into a fisticuffs fight because he know Vernon not like that.
Yeah.
But he's basically saying, I know you're not like that. So don't try and don't try and because Vernon is like, oh, we're not paying for him to go to the school. We teach you some crackpot old man to teach him some magic tricks. And every single time Vernon get out of hand, bam, boom. Hagrid is there to let him know. He's Vernon says to Hagrid, I already told you, he's not going to the school. And Hagrid just look at him and say, oh, I guess some great muggle like you gonna stop him, huh? Like you ain't got no say. You just sit over there in the corner. You ain't got no say in what's going on here. Mm-hmm. And again, that's the beautiful dynamic of Hagrid. Gentle, but if you push him, right now I'm on the edge. Don't push me.
It's funny you mentioned that. I had another question, but I want to touch on this real quickly. Mm-hmm. You had mentioned, what are you going to do to stop him? He actually said in the book, his name has been in the book or listed since the day he was born. Mm-hmm. Now, for many, I mean, I'm not saying for many, some may not know, but in Hogwarts, there's something called the Book of Admittance. Mm-hmm. And for those who don't know, along with the Quill of Acceptance, Magical Records magically records the name of every magical child at birth. This process serves as an official enrollment system for Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The purpose of this is it ensures that every witch and wizard is identified for education, but the system is final and cannot be tampered with, which is why Petunia was not, allowed.
I'm familiar with this. I've read this at some point.
Yeah, just for the listeners out
there, of course,
that may not know, and I think it's very pertinent information because obviously there's another like little breadcrumb that down the line you'll start to learn why with certain people, why do you have. We haven't really talked about squibs and all those type of things, but this piece of information right here is critical to the for lack of better terms, the distribution of who's in versus out of the magical community. A quick question. We'll bounce back to this. You mentioned it earlier about how they withheld information from Harry when he was young. At what point are you old enough to hear the truth and come to your own conclusions, would you say?
And come to your own conclusions about,
let's say it's something family related like that, because obviously this is a very deep and textured thing with him and his parents getting blown up and stuff like that. One could have argued, hey, we didn't give them the information, they had their different reasons. But at what point do you remember your parents being sitting you down and kind of being like, this is the real? Like I was one day you're gonna have kids. When do you think is going to be the time? Do you say,
I was a very advanced kid in terms of understanding things quickly. I mean, I spent a lot of time with adults, not because I had to, but because that I always felt more comfortable around adults. I mean, I remember being a kid and being like ushered off into the side room when the adults were watching something that I probably shouldn't be watching at a young age, or like they was watching a scary movie and it was late or something like that. But I spent a lot of my time around adults as a kid. So a lot of things I beat my parents to the punch on, like them like the realness of it. Like I'll give you an example, the Tooth Fairy. I think I remember telling my dad, like, yo, you got that Tooth Fairy money? Like
run that.
Like, I know ain't no lady coming in here in the middle of the night coming up under my pillow,
picking up this suit.
Like just as a kid, even though I don't know the logistics of it, because I remember like being a kid and like the first time the Tooth Fairy came, it was like, hold on.
Yeah,
I definitely didn't feel that. Like I was asleep and it was a tooth, and that was money. And then I started to apply a little bit of logic at that young age and realize, like, ain't no lady coming in here in the middle of the night. Like, because already at that point with the Tooth Fairy, like, I had already knew the Santa Claus gig was out of the bag. So I'm like, wait a minute, Santa Claus ain't doing it. ain't no tooth fairy coming. So I remember like I lost another tooth, and I told my dad, I'm like, can you just give me the money now? Like,
Let's get it over with.
Like
I'm trying to go to Target.
Like I don't even remember. Like it wasn't even a lot of money, but I was just saying. Like I was saying to my dad, like he like they're going on with the pageantry of being of having small children. It's like, oh, put it under your pillow, and the tooth fairy gonna come. And I'm looking at them like, oh, get them $4 over here. Like
those scraggly 4 beans.
Get them $4 over here. I got stuff to do. Take this tooth, do what you do with it. It's yours now. As long as mine get over here. As long as mine get over here. So, I mean, I was never sheltered in that way. My parents and really all my whole family, like if they would just tell me, like it was a different time. Like if something was going on, I can't even remember like being anything being like, okay, we gotta teach him like this, like that. No, everybody in my family is like, oh, this is what it is. You gotta learn it right now.
Yeah.
Like from my uncle beat me in blackjack. Like
the uncle I know?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying, like I remember learning blackjack and my uncle like was killing me.
Run that.
He gotta learn. Like that's the truth. That's a cultural thing that exists within our culture that is maybe different in other cultures.
Yeah.
But we not really big into sugarcoating too much of anything. Because the reality is the real world ain't sugarcoated.
Yeah.
So you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
So, for Harry, I think it's different in this case because Petunia and Vernon are going out of their way to make sure that Harry doesn't know. They're not trying to coddle him. They're literally like trying to erase this from being a part of who he is. Vernon says, we swore we'd stamp that weirdness out of him or something to that effect.
Yeah.
This is a different thing. This is not about protecting Harry. This is about protecting themselves from the abnormality of Harry.
Yeah. So you had mentioned that. You said we swore we took him in, we stopped that rubbish, and we stamped the wizard out of him. Wizard indeed. Quick question. Are the biggest threats to our dreams our parents and relatives? And how do you manage the dreams of a young person?
Is that a factor, Kat?
What do you think? Are the biggest threats to our dreams our parents?
Threats? I wouldn't default to the word threats. I would say our parents are most likely, or at least to the degree that you have your parents around, it's really about the people who are raising you. Let's change the language from parents to whoever's raising you. Most often that's going to be parent. But I think the point is that they have the first opportunity to influence you and to breathe life into your dreams or deflate them. So I wouldn't say that they kill dreams as much as they are the architects of dreams. And if they choose to facilitate those things, you never know what the possibilities are. Or if they choose not to facilitate those things, you never know what can happen. Now, people have come through adversity and all different types of family situations, but I think that the point is that our parents or whoever is raising us has that first shot of influence over us and to give us that battery in our back or to frighten us away from a particular path.
A little bit later in the chapter, we got, we're not going to get into it this much because we're going to do a whole character analysis on this person, but it's the first glimpse of the power of a name, which is Voldemort. Hagrid is so shook, he couldn't even tell the story of his parents. He couldn't even couldn't even write the name down on paper, partially because he probably couldn't spell it, but also
that's what he says. He says I couldn't spell it.
But I think he was so shook he didn't even want to try.
This is J.K. Rowling in her world building bag.
Yeah,
letting people know.
Even a man of his stature and
even
size.
Hagrid is straight shook of Voldemort to the point that he can't say the name.
Yeah,
and again, she uses Harry's lack of knowledge to get this point about the magical world across. Because Hagrid can't say you know who.
Yeah.
Because Harry don't know who.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So he got to say the name.
Yeah.
And to see Hagrid struggle with it
Mm-hmm.
is the important part to get across to the reader.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The chapter pretty much ends when Vernon calls Albus a crackpot old fool, and he goes off the deep end and says, "It never insult Albus Dumbledore in front of me," and pretty much lets the Uzi spray. Puts a pigtail on Dudley.
Yeah.
Even funnier, after he does it, which is wild, he actually turns to Harry and tells him, asks him not to snitch. He's not supposed to be doing magic. They don't really get into the story as to why, but to just put a pigtail on somebody and ask for you to hide it is just so.
That's Hagrid.
That's
Hagrid not gonna let you. He's not gonna let you. You're not talking bad about Albus in front of Hagrid, and with no consequence free.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who did anything talking bad about Albus in front of Hagrid got something.
Yeah, 100%.
Got something. Karkaroff got slammed up against that tree. Vernon's son got a pigtail.
Yeah, you already know. You already know. So, wrapping it up, who you think won the episode? I mean, the chapter.
Harry wins this chapter. This is easy. Yeah. Harry found out he not gonna have to off all the Dursleys in their sleep in a couple years, because he really is a special boy, and he's going to be removed from the ugliness of his upbringing so far. So Harry, this is the ring-a-ding-ding win for Harry finally, after a couple of chapters of bearing this hard childhood. He's finally realizing, okay, it's not going to be that bad.
Yeah, and this is clearly the beginning of something special with Harry. I do want to give a special shout out to the introduction of Hagrid, you know, in such a glorious and impactful way.
The OG.
For sure. The OG was definitely in his bag in this one coming out for this chapter right here. But I agree. I think Harry you know, stole the scene without necessarily dominating it per se with his personality. I think it was just like the pure curiosity or innocence of questions and things like that.
The excitement that Harry is experiencing as a reader, you're kind of okay. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something here.
There is something here. It wasn't all in our heads. Not that it's in your head, but it wasn't all, you know, this is real. This is real tangible. That glass vanished for a reason.
Yeah.
Harry getting in that tree when Dudley's crew was chasing him for a reason.
Yeah.
So you start to you catch your breath like, all right, now we're getting into the meat of the story.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. This is Ann and Morty. Seriously Black. For the culture, by the culture.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one.